Welcome to another live stream. Hopefully I've got audio. Let me know if you guys hear it. I'm looking at my phone. Yeah, it is working. So let me turn the volume down to that. Welcome to a live stream. I'm in my Hurley t-shirt tonight. Got to change to the back glasses. So we are going to change over to the back glasses. I'm a little under the weather tonight. I apologize. Been fighting an epic cold, and so FYI, just in case something might seem a little off, it is me. It's not you. Got my coffee to keep my throat going. Got the sinus thing draining, so a little concerned about that. Missing my coaster. Here it is. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Let's get the chat enabled here. Turn the sky camera off, and actually, let's make sure the glasses are away in the bat case. In case you don't know, I am a huge Batman 1966 fan and love that Batman. I watched it when I was a kid after school. So absolutely love that version, even though it's a little cheesy for sure. But, you know, cheese isn't bad all the time. We all need a little cheese in our life. So let's see what's going on here in the chat. I see already, let's see, chat on the air. Thank you for that super chat. I don't know why these don't show up, but I appreciate it very, very much. Antique Critic, my good friend Wayne, I thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it. So make sure that you say hi tonight, and also let us know where you're from. I would love to see that. It's good to have Grish in here tonight. Also, Cyber Gizmo, DJ Ware. And Grish says, I saw your comment on Aaron's stream asking about key and fill. Are you thinking about doing key and fill via OBS Thunderbolt out? Don't you already have HyperDecks? Yeah. Well, obviously, let's see, did that all show up? Yeah. Grish, I have got a client that has the G2. That's the new ATEM Extreme ISO Generation 2 version. It's got higher end buttons. It's got a Thunderbolt port. And we have been, for the life of us with his Macintosh, trying to figure out how to get it working. So I figured Aaron's demo on the Ultra Studio 4K that he has in his studio, which is Thunderbolt back and forth from his Mac, but it has SDI A and B out, which is fill and key. And the new G2 doesn't have that. The new G2, you're supposed to be able to send Thunderbolt, 2 signals of Thunderbolt as a key and fill, and then be able to open up one of your keys inside your Blackmagic Design control software. And you should be able to then take a key and fill and also be able to access that through OBS, but we are not having any luck. And so, but at least Aaron now has a video, or at least he's talking about doing a video on that particular device. There's very little out there on the Ultra Studio products. I don't think a lot of people have that kind of product like they do having ATEMs and HyperDecks. And yes, I do have 2 HyperDecks in my studio. I have the HyperDeck HD Plus and then the older HyperDeck. They both have key and fill, and they both are hooked up. One is hooked up, and actually I have a stream, a HyperDeck Shuttle as well, and it does not have key and fill. But it has HDMI in, HDMI out, so you can use it as a ISO recording device. But again, I can ISO record, which I'm going to turn on ISO recording right now. Let's change to my ATEM Extreme ISO. That was the Rodecaster video you saw up there. And now I am recording, and I'm streaming at 6.13 bits. So, and I'm learning how to say bits, not megabytes. It's megabits. So Hopefully that answers your question there again, Grish, but thank you for asking that question. So if you guys know of a video on how to set up the G2 Thunderbolt, there's a few videos out there on doing Insta Replay because it sends two Thunderbolt signals out. Two Thunderbolt signals in to the G2 and it sends one out, and then you can do that and to use it for instant replay. So for whatever it's worth, it'd be nice to know how to use that G2 incredible Thunderbolt feature. Somewhere here, I grabbed my wireless microphones. Gonna put my wireless microphone on tonight. And again, I've not been feeling good, so it took me twice as long to get going today and get ready, but I did not want to miss tonight's live stream. I do have some things that I want to talk about tonight. I want to do a demo of H2R graphics, which should be fun. And so I have lots to do, and check to see if this microphone is working, and it is. So we're going to push this out of the way, and I just want to listen to the audio real quickly. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. A couple weeks ago, you guys said the audio was breaking up, so I'll keep an eye on the chat if you start hearing this microphone break up. This is the Rode. What is this? Wireless Go version 2, and I learned this last week that the Wireless Go Pro and the Wireless Go version 3 have the ability now to connect to the phone, and I think that's quite interesting. I wish this one could. I tried it a few weeks ago, but if you use the Rode Capture app, which is opening up right now, which sends NDI out, sends two signals of NDI on this side and this side, so you can send both cameras separately NDI out, or you can send one camera with picture-in-picture in it or a split view and combine them. But again, this is a really cool app, and the new Rode Go version 3 and the new Wireless Go or Wireless Pros will actually hook up to this wirelessly. So that's really cool. And the way you do that is, I believe you go down to the audio settings down in the bottom left, and it says direct connect to TX. And then it starts looking for your transmitters. And again, right now it's not finding mine because this wireless microphone is already connected to my Rodecaster Pro 2, but again, it's not compatible. So if I disconnected it from here and try to connect it from here, it doesn't work because I've already tried it. But that's really cool that you have a free app from Rode you can use for NDI. Then you could actually link up the new microphones to it. So if you wanted to walk around and use this with your Rodecaster video, you can. In fact, now that I'm sending NDI out, if I go into my Rodecaster, see, do I have an angle of this? Let me just double check here. If my wireless Go, no, this is not working today. What is going on in my studio? Probably not connected. So let's go to inspect 5. USB 5. Am I import USB 5? So we'll let that boot up. USB 5. There we go. And cut to this. Okay, so there you have it. Let me get the microphone out of the way. And it's an okay picture. Let me see this full screen. Not super bright. but you can go to the menu here. So if I hit the inspect button and then go into channel 6, go to network, and go to road capture, stream A, turn it off, and I have a wireless microphone using channel 6. And again, you can assign these using the inspector button. You can assign 6 to whatever. And if I click on this, just for the fun of it here, click on the button to activate that, you can see NZXT Studio H2R graphics. We're going to talk about that because I have it sending an NDI signal, and we'll talk about if that's working or not later in the stream. So, okay, back to me and a logo. So, want to talk about H2R graphics tonight. Also want to make sure we're saying hi to everybody that's in the chat. So, thank you. Everything sounds good, it sounds like. Let's continue going through the chat. We're here. Good to have you. Juris Designs, Gary, hi, Keith. Hi, everyone. It's good to have you. Grish is recovering from a cold himself. Back to the Rodecaster today. Yeah, I'm not streaming from the Rodecaster, but I am sending back the YOLO Live YOLO Box Extreme. So it's out of the studio. It is going back. And so I am back to my ATEMs and my Rodecaster video. And news tonight, let me show you this. Let's go in here. Got to keep the throat wet. Me and my laptop. This video right here is scheduled to go live on March 3rd at 6 p.m. So this is my official YOLO Live YOLO Box Extreme getting started in 2026 video. And that's going to go live tonight at 6 o'clock. That video, I have to say, for me, seemed like the hardest video I've ever produced. Seems like every time I would go to watch it, I would find something I didn't like or didn't edit it. And I do a lot of stuff in my videos. If you watch any of my videos, like training videos, like the ATEM Mini Pro, the ATEM Extreme ISO, those type videos, my HybridX videos, I use a lot of arrows, a lot of boxes, because you can share your screen, but if they can't see what you're touching or what you're doing, so I use a lot of that because when I watch videos trying to learn all of that, I really struggled being able to see what they were doing. So I'm not over their shoulder. I'm watching a video. And though YouTube is a great source for learning, it's not necessarily very intuitive. And if I was teaching a class, I would have a whiteboard. I would have people watching what I'm doing on an ATEM, what I'm doing in the control software. And the cool thing, obviously, about the studio, and many of you guys know that I do consulting. And so obviously I can go to a layout like this and I can show people in the software and they can see my mouse, but it's very tiny. I could make a bigger mouse. So when I am teaching and in consulting, it's really important that the other person has their ATEM and their control software. And a lot of times I'm not showing them on my control software. I have them screen sharing with me so that I can tell them where to go click. And then if I need to demo it, then I can show them, no, I need you to click up here on the media folder, or I need you to click on the HybridX folder, or we need to go down to the settings wheel on the bottom left. So I can show them on my screen, but it's important that they have it open on their personal screen. And it makes the whole learning process a whole lot better than when you're not doing that kind of stuff. So, okay. So let's find a channel here. Let's go back to camera 1 because I put my phone down and it shuts down the multi-view. Okay, let's switch back. Oh, what did I do here? Exit. Switch back to my ATEM Extreme ISO multi-view, which is what you guys are used to seeing behind me. So I sent the Extreme back and I'm getting ready to mail it. So que sera, it is going back, and as sad as that is, it is the truth. So that device is going back. So yeah, the client does have Blackmagic Design desktop video installed, but the picture that he sent me from his phone, let's go back here to our conversation. Is no media player device detected. And and this is the media player setup screen. So no media player device detected. So it's not detecting, Grish, the ATEM G2. So for whatever reason. Also on Mac, was the Thunderbolt accessory approved in settings? I don't know, but I will ask him that. We are going to be on a call tomorrow. So, yeah, Grish, and if you have any other information, please let me know tonight. I can show key and fill on OBS tomorrow. Yeah, key and fill are available in OBS. You have to have a device that does key and fill, but TVJ is saying that he's going to show that tomorrow, and that's really cool. That is in, let me just look, do I have OBS open over here? It's under Deck Link Outputs under the Tools section. So anyway, that's where you would access the outputs so that you could go from OBS directly to the outputs of a Deck Link card, and it sees those two Thunderbolt outs on the Ultra Studio 4K. And again, if you don't know what the Ultra Studio 4K is, done. Let me drag this back over here. It's a device that Blackmagic Design has that lets you do key and fill. So this little one does HD, this will do 4K, and this one's ridiculously expensive. But that's the big Ultra Studio 4K Extreme. But they're all Thunderbolt 3 compliant. And again, if you look at, this is what Aaron Precky has in his studio. You actually can hook a microphone up. When you have this hooked up to Thunderbolt, you have an SD card reader. And Aaron Precky says that he uses it quite a bit because he has it in a rack, and that lets him be able to read SD cards because it'll read right directly to his computer like a drive. You have a little preview screen. So it looks like a HyperDeck, but it's not. And if you go to the back of these devices, then you can see that they have the A and B. This is A is fill and B is key. And so you have it right here. Let me increase the size of this. You have it obviously right here, and you have it right here. And so they have more features, but again, this will do 4K, this will do HD. So this would work in my studio, or I could put a Decklink Duo card inside my PC. So this is a Decklink Duo card. So you have 4 inputs. This is one of these is reference. You have 4, and you can put this inside your, and I have room in my PC. I've thought about getting one of these. But again, what I like about the G2 is the Thunderbolt doesn't take up any ports. So it goes from your Mac or your PC Thunderbolt 3 into the G2, which is a ATEM Extreme ISO G2. Again, I'm not promoting from these guys, but it's the fastest way to get it. So again, this is HDMI input. So you have channel 9 and 10, and they're assigned to media player 1, media player 2. Reason I know this is my client that I'm going to be meeting with tomorrow has one of these. But this has Thunderbolt in and out. So if you look at the back right here, you have Thunderbolt. You can see the little lightning rod right there on the right-hand side. That's Thunderbolt, and that sends 2 lanes of video in to the G2 and 1 lane of video out. So you can do instant replay. So you can be going in and out. You could literally be live on your ATEM and be working on that stuff inside DaVinci Resolve. And again, this should be able to be like a Decklink card. It should have 2 lanes of video out. You should be able to open up the software that Grish is talking about, which is what you use for all the Decklink cards. Just going back here, it's called Blackmagic Desktop Video, and that is the interface video software that lets you communicate between your PC or your Macintosh and the devices. So if it's a Ultra Studio 4K, which I don't have up here anymore, or if it's a Decklink Duo card, you should be able to communicate back and forth, including the G2, because the G2, again, is designed to have a port in and out. And so we should be able to use this Thunderbolt port right here to communicate. And again, this device is really cool because it has 2 XLR dual connectors, has better preamps, it has 8 HDMI inputs in, it has 3 HDMI outputs out, so that's 1 more than you're going to find on the regular HDMI version of the Extreme ISO. So it's got better buttons, it's got some really cool features. It's got a better matrix, it's got a transition bar, so just a lot of good things with this device, and it's probably meant to kind of split the difference between someone that doesn't want to buy a big, gigantic console and someone that wants features that's a little bit better than an ATEM Extreme ISO. They can buy the G2, and it is basically an Extreme ISO on steroids, has an extra HDMI out, has extra USB port, because now you have the ability to do Thunderbolt, has the 2 XLR combo jacks coming into it, so you could put in a regular microphone, or you could split it and bring in a big mixing console. So I've been working with my client on how to set up macros for that. And the one thing we haven't been able to do is break the code on the Thunderbolt back and forth. So Jay says, it won't be the G2 though, since I don't own one. Yeah, I get it. How much are the new mics approximately? So the microphones And I would recommend the Pro, actually. Here's the Pro, and you get the receiver and the 2 transmitters, and there's actually a Pro bundle. Let's see if I can find that. This is what I'm going to get at some point to replace these, is this bundle. Great, thank you for the advertisement. $299, you get the charging case, you get 2 wired microphones, and that would be for more professional gigs. You could hide the microphone. These are not small on me. It works great in this black shirt, but again, having the ability to hide a lapel mic underneath clothes. And this is kind of a flat open microphone, so it's going to get everything in front of you. So very directional, so it should pick up your voices, and you could actually probably interview someone pretty close to you, and it wouldn't be that bad. But you have 2 of them, and they have microphones built in. So there's the gauges on the transmitter, and you can see the microphone on the top right here in this picture. And you can see the jack on the right top, which will let you actually lock those microphones so they won't pull out by accident. Here is the charging case. Here is the microphones that it comes with. And there's a look at the case loaded up. Pretty much identical to my case right here. And so everything fits in there. I have one of the microphones out, and you can see inside there is a little USB-C port. And so this has got a battery in it, and you can charge it right back here. And the Pros would fit probably even in this case if I just wanted to buy the kit and change these out. And eventually these batteries can wear out, but you can, I think, send them in the road now, and they can do a replacement inside of it, but it's a permanent battery that they'll have to take out and put back in. So I'm actually using this transmitter to go wirelessly into my Rodecaster Video 2 or Rodecaster Pro 2. I can actually transmit directly into the Rodecaster Video as well. It'll take 2 of these microphones, and so will a Rodecaster Pro 2 and a Rodecaster Pro Duo. And the Rodecaster Pro 2 and Rodecaster Pro Duo, those are mainly audio interfaces that will work great with your computer and great for live streaming and all that stuff. No video built into it, but they basically took the Rodecaster Pro Duo and put it inside the Rodecaster Video. And the Rodecaster Video has HDMI inputs. It also has NDI inputs, NDI output, as well as your ability to plug in 2 USB webcams, but they have to be uncompressed video. And that's what you guys were seeing earlier, is me showing you guys, I think it's 5. This is the YOLO Cam S3, and it comes right into jack number 5 right here, and that is USB-C. So the back of the camera is USB-C, and it's a 1/1.3 chip. So it's a very good quality camera. And, you know, turn the graphics off the screen. So gives you the ability to see what I'm doing. And then there's software that runs off your PC or your Mac to control this. But I could pretty well stream live from this. The downside of it, you only have 1 button, and it does have a light to say if you are sending out USB-C and if you are recording. If I push this button, it'll start recording. But it has audio built into it. So here are all the audio channels. There's combo 1, and I can scroll over combo 2. You can see that's live. That is the wireless 1 and video clips, USB chat, sounds, network, HDMI 2, HDMI 1. And again, if those things have audio on them, you can turn them on and off. I can unmute it by pushing this button, but I'm not going to do that. because you guys are watching HDMI 1 right now. I don't want to send audio out of this. So this is a good choice if you want to get wireless audio to a Rodecaster video or to the NDI app that's available for free from Rodecaster, the Rode Capture app. And you can then use this as a wireless phone. Now, again, there's some latency, so if you do add your microphone to the video, it should be, your lips should be completely in sync when it comes into your live stream. So if I was to show you this camera on me, let's do a quick picture-in-picture here. Where are you? There you are. Let's go full screen. Let me go into palettes, super source. Let's do this layout. Close everything in here I don't need. Open the NDI app again. We don't really need box 3, so we're going to close it. Go into box 2, and we're going to do that. I'm going to switch to input 6, and let me put this on me. So let's move my hand. There is the latency. So I've got a little latency. I'm not super excited about the colors, but again, it's a portable camera. If you want your lips in sync, then you want to go audio inside the camera. So if I had the ability to do a wireless microphone and put it on, then my lips would be synced when I'm walking around the camera. So if I was doing a walk around, I could do that. But here's the cool thing. So I can do both of them. So I could be walking around and have a microphone on, and you guys could be hearing me in this camera. And if I just keep it lined up with me, I can go around the room and show you guys more than one thing. Let's just cut to this full screen. So I could be doing this tour around the studio, and my lips and the audio you're hearing would be in sync. And I can move this little window around, get it over here. So again, I can do it like this in dual mode. I can do it like this in dual mode. And I can send both of these sources through the Rodecaster video and record ISO recordings of both of them. And so I could edit it however I wanted. So if I didn't like this view right here, and I wanted to do a different type of layout, I could do that. So again, I could be streaming whatever I wanted, but I could be recording both of these inputs and do a video later. So it's great for a live stream. It's great to show your desk and also still be on the screen. And then if you cut to it full screen, sorry, I didn't cut to it. If you cut to it full screen, you're still on there, but my lips are not in sync. I'd have to hook up something directly to this camera, and I could do that by taking this receiver, and instead of going into my Rodecaster Pro 2 for my live stream, I could be hooking this up to my phone, got to find a rack or a way to mount it, and then I could actually be receiving audio directly. But you can see the power of being able to go from a Rode Wireless Go 3 version, this is the 2 version, 3 version directly into the phone and actually do 2 of these. So I could be on it and a guest could be on it and we could be live streaming or doing a recording from our phone or sending NDI to a Rodecaster video that was doing the live stream, and our audio would be in match. So this would be a great tool, a Rodecaster video, and a wireless Pro or wireless Go 3 set and hooked up to the phone, and you could then live stream at a major event or a wedding or something like that. Would be really cool. So again, one of those things that I think is pretty cool. Wasn't the plan tonight, but that's where we are. That goes there. That goes there. When you plug them in, they start charging if they need any charge. Okay. Let me get through the chat. It's going to be a long night. I can feel it. Good to have you, Hank, from Bluffton, South Carolina. It has 18 views, even though it was never posted. Yellow Live people, look at it. No, I don't know why it has 18 views. I've looked at it a few times, but it's not live until 6 o'clock. My deal with YOLO Live, full disclosure, was if I liked it, I'll do a video. If not, I'll pay to ship it back. They were going to pay for shipping, and if I did videos on it, and then they also were talking about possibly if I did a bunch of videos on it, maybe even leaving it with me. But I don't want that device sitting in here. It's not mine, belongs to someone else. And so I am sending it back. So 2-port HDMI switcher would service the purpose there instead of switching monitor inputs. A 2-port HDMI switcher. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'm going to the back button and switching. But I could have a little switcher because I have 2 HDMI inputs going to this monitor. This is a gaming monitor, MSI. I think it's 32 inch. No, it's not 32 inch, it's 27 inch. So people ask me that all the time. But I'm used to switching it. But I don't disagree with you. Okay. Just the two I can think of, making sure that the desktop video is installed and that the Thunderbolt accessory was approved. Also ensure a proper Thunderbolt cable is being used, not just a USB-C cable. I agree. Definitely has to be a Thunderbolt rated. So I'll ask that question. I don't know. I haven't had a Mac in so long, so evidently there's a way to improve that. So make sure that that's been done. If you're using a deck link, then you need a desktop video setup. Yes, I agree. I have a couple deck links, work well with OBS for key and fill. We do at church. Yeah. Deck link duos. Rick, it's good to have you here. Owner of the G2. Will you ever own a Mac? I've had a Mac before, and I'm thinking about getting a Mac M4 Mini. But again, I have my laptop. It's got some burn-in now. I had this really cool screensaver that came with the laptop and the video card, and it froze a couple weeks ago, and now I have burn-in. But my laptop is 5.5, almost 6 years old now, and it's definitely ready to be replaced. So I've been shopping for laptops, been watching what's coming out. Haven't decided what I'm getting yet, but I have been looking at the new Duo by Asus. It's a gaming dual screen laptop. The keyboard comes off one of the screens and then magnetizes back on, and it closes like a regular laptop. But when you open it up, you have 2 screens, and then you can pull the keyboard off. And I think that would be really cool for remote events, because then again, I always have 2 screens and 1 screen when I don't want it. The video was choppy on the second camera. Doesn't surprise me because it's feeding 2 cameras NDI through wireless network. I do have my Rodecaster video wired into my network, But again, this is just casting wirelessly. So you would have to have a very fast network if you were going to do it that way. I agree. I'm waiting for the Mac M5. I agree. I saw information about, in fact, this week there's supposed to be a new Apple device every day. I've been feeling well, so I didn't watch any videos. Okay, so I want to shift gears now. I caught up finally in the chat. Let me turn chat off the air. And first thing I want to talk about tonight it's the Holyland products. I've never really owned or watched a lot of videos on Holyland, but I was captivated by this VenusLiv Air. And there's the VenusLiv 2, but it has a smaller sensor. This sensor is 1/2 inch. This sensor is 1/1.3, which seems to be the biggest sensor they're putting in these smaller cameras. But what caught my attention about this device, the VenusLiv Air, is it has already built into it, again, 4K, 30 frames per second. It has a flip around screen. It has apps that work with it. You can live stream from it. You've got a decent lens on it that's actually permanent, fixed lens. And it's a f1.05. I haven't owned one of these, so I can't give you guys any hands-on details, but 50 megapixel resolution, which is really good for these smaller sensors. And again, 1/1.3 is what's in the new YoloCam S3, which is in the new Insta360 Link 2 Pro. The only camera that I have right now that is bigger sensor than that, that's like a webcam, is the new Tiny 3 by Ozbot, which I'm getting ready to shoot a video this week on. It will be up this weekend. That's the deadline. I agreed to do that video. I've already shot some footage of that. Just need to shoot some more tomorrow and then start editing on Thursday and get that up sometime this weekend. But and then again, I have the YOLO Box Extreme video coming out tonight. It's about 40 minutes long, and I cover probably about 80% of the features. I touch on almost all of them, but I cover about 80%, a lot of the menu, how to move files around. It is a very thorough video. I've spent at least a week editing it, no less than a week in the studio editing that video. And I hope it helps people out there decide if an Extreme's for them or not. But the Ozbot Tiny 3 has a 1/128, which is a bit bigger than a 1/1.3. So this camera has a 1/1.3, and supposedly this is a shot from the camera. You never know. I didn't design this web page, but there's some really cool features. But the thing that stood out to me the most is rather than having to buy this is the Ozbot UVC to HDMI converter, HDMI out that side, and you can plug a webcam into this side, and then you have power. It's supposed to work with the tiny remote, but I haven't been able to get it. I can get this to work through my computer with the Tiny 3, but I still have yet even tried to do a firmware update today. I put the USB dongle in there. It should just plug and play, but things are not plugging and playing in my network like they should. So again, once you have a camera plugged into this, like a Tiny 2 or a Tiny 3, then you should be able to use the remote and then send HDMI into your ATEM, because a webcam has to go through a computer and then in to OBS and then project it full screen. Like I can put my Sky camera on the air right now, and I am projecting this through OBS. So because I'm projecting through OBS, I can just cut to it, and there you have my Insta360 link version 1, showing a close-up of Tony Stark. That's a 1/6 scale figure from Hot Toys. Totally cool little figure, but that's going through my PC. I can take the Tiny 3 and plug it into this and go directly into my ATEM. And I don't have to go through a PC, which is a lot better, but I need a remote because I want to pan and tilt. That's the whole reason. So I need to get this working, and this is not going to be in my video this week. Neither will this because I can't get it to work, so I'm not going to add that to my video. Now, I paid for this, and I paid for this, but Ozbot sent me the wireless microphone, which I did get working, and the Tiny 3, and so those will be in my video. So I'm compelled with this, and the reason why is it has HDMI in the back of this camera. So you can plug it directly in. This doesn't give you a very good close-up, but here's the HDMI right here. So you got network, you got HDMI, you also have an audio input, you have a USB-C input as well. And so, and this screen flips up, so you can actually go directly from this camera into an ATEM or into a Rodecaster video. And again, it's a box camera, so you have to keep that in mind. But the reason this has caught my attention is, again, it's kind of that transition between webcams and smaller cameras, box cameras that don't pan and tilt, but it could make a really nice camera for a church or for a venue or for your home studio. If you're doing a lot of calls, you could put it in the back of an Elgato, the newer Elgato prompter. And if you want to use it directly in your computer, you can, because it's USB-C. If you want to use it with other cameras in your studio, you can use it through HDMI. But the fact that it has these extra ports built in, now I paid $167 for this. This converter, HDMI and USB-C are already in this camera. So it can send HDMI out, it can send USB-C out. So that's really cool. And so again, here's HDMI output, connect the switcher via HDMI for professional multi-camera workflow. I think that's really cool. So you can see it right here being used like a regular production camera, regular DSLR. 4K wireless live streaming. You can use their apps and view the picture during a live stream. Multi-platform streaming, stream to 2 platforms simultaneously without a computer, expand your audience. So Facebook and YouTube, directly from the camera. Again, there's just a lot here. Here is the software up and running on, looks like a Mac. So now you have full access to monitor your live feed and control your camera from a distance by connecting your mobile device or PC to the VenusLiv Air anytime. So that's really cool. Here is an iPad activated. Now again, I haven't been able to test this, but there's so much here. The Holycam mobile app and the Holly Studio PC software. I don't see anything here for Mac, but so sorry, Mac users, but 1/1.3 is pretty good in low light. And so this could be a pretty good camera. So let's click buy and let's let the cat out of the bag. $549. Now they do have version 2, which is only a 1/2-inch sensor. It's $599. But I'm not really sure there's a reason to go to a newer version, a smaller sensor. That really doesn't make sense to me, to go from a 1/2-inch sensor down from a 1/1.3. So the VenusLiv Air, I think, is a very interesting camera. Am I going to add one if Holyland's never reached out to me? But they have some great wireless microphones that will hook with it. So not only is the wireless Go pretty good microphones, Holyland has a bunch of microphones as well They do monitors. They do wireless HDMI to another wireless receiver. They're really well known for that. So again, lots of things. Holyland has intercom systems. They also have these cameras we're talking about. They even have the AeroCam C2, which is a PTZ camera. They have their new Holyland Lyra. This is to compete with the GoPro and the action camera by DJI. Again, the Venus Air is their newer camera. They have the version 2 and the VenusLiv. And I really do think the VenusLiv Air is a newer camera, newer sensor than the VenusLiv version 2. They also have these wireless microphones. And again, they don't connect automatically to the VenusLiv, but you can take their smaller kit, like right here, and plug the transmitter in the USB-C port, and then you can have 2 guests. So lots of different transmitters, the Lark M1, the Lark C1, the Lark Max 2, the Lark M2, and these are really tiny. I think Aaron Preki has this set. So these are little tiny microphones that go right on top of you. So I really do think that that is a interesting device. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat your thoughts. Let's fix that. Your thoughts. And okay, Cyber Gizmo. Keith, Thunderbolt 4 has 25 gigabytes Ethernet built in. So you need the Thunderbolt Pro cables from Apple. They are black. They may be listed as TB45. So it's only Thunderbolt 3, well, let's see. Before I stick my foot in my proverbial mouth. Clear that for a minute. I think it's Thunderbolt 3, but I don't want to speak out of turn here. Cyber Gizmo says he thinks I'm right. Thunderbolt 3. But we always dare to educate here, so I do not want to give you guys wrong specs. And they don't talk a lot about the Thunderbolt for whatever reason. And I get that it may be over some people's heads, but I think that's one of the best features about the G2 is it has this Thunderbolt interface. Gives you 2 more lines of video. You don't have to, when you use an Ultra Studio 4K or the HD version, you have to take up 2 inputs. Like my HyperDecks take up 2 inputs. Imagine having 8 inputs, HDMI, and being able to use them for everything else and then bring in key and fill graphics through the Thunderbolt. So in reality, it is a 10 input device, not an 8 input device. So one day if they add NDI, that'll be even better. But for right now, the G2 to me, with the buttons, with the transition bar, it is a great and interesting device. So I see nothing about Thunderbolt. Keys. Again, this is the kind of combined page for the A10 line, but you have way more audio channels because it's got MADI built into it. Again, you don't have 3.5 jacks. You have traditional XLR combo jacks, so you can do 1/4 inch in from a console or XLR in. You could do MADI in and use their adapters to have 4 microphones and daisy chain 4 more. When you open up the interface, Rick will tell you that it actually shows you all of those channels. When you open up the audio interface, what I'm talking about is I drag mine over here. Too many things on my desk today. We are going to be off the air tonight at 6 o'clock because I want everybody to be able to watch that new video. But if I open up this, you can see I have my 8 inputs, and then I have mic 1 and mic 2. If you open up a G2, you have way more audio inputs than this. It's, you know, you got huge audio inputs. So you can add those MADI devices and one cable run out to a platform or a stage or whatever in a venue or another room, and then have microphones in a podcast studio. Whatever. I don't think they show that opened up. Yeah, they need a dedicated page just to the G2. But you can see the cool devices they have now. This is a HyperDeck on the right-hand side that's got basically a monitor built into it. It can record, it can play back. It's basically a shuttle on steroids. And then you have the camera controller, the new camera control on the left. So you can see the setup's pretty professional looking. Camera control on the left, video playback on the right. But again, if you had a laptop with DaVinci Resolve opened up, you could be doing replay back from it through the Thunderbolt. So, and right here, it talks about balanced XLR in for audio, MADI in and out for Fairlight status display. There's the Thunderbolt hooked up to his laptop. So again, instant replay is linked up and ready to go, and that's how you would hook it up. The 2 other USB ports, one could be for a drive, the other one could be for HDMI in for Zoom or something like that. But again, you have HDMI in coming from this cable as well. Oh, built-in Thunderbolt. Here we go. Thunderbolt 3. Yay! We did it. So 40 gigabytes. So it has Thunderbolt 3. So I feel a lot better now that I remembered. So, okay. Let's close this app so my phone doesn't die. Let's move on. I like that camera. I have to say, it is very interesting to me, and we'll just have to somehow get one into the studio. So got to find a little over $550 laying around. But I do like the idea of that camera. I think it would make a great overhead camera. I like the fact that you could see the screen. I like the fact you could come directly in. I like the fact that I could control the settings and the color and all that from my iPhone or an iPad. So again, this is very, very, very interesting. Okay, so like I promised, let's move on. But we'll turn chat on the air. Hey, me too, Grish. Mics for the money. Let's see, that was in response to, I got Holyland Lark M2 mics and surprised how decent they sound for their size. Yeah, I've heard really good stuff about Holyland microphones for their size, and Grish is responding to that. I feel like Holyland Lyra is meant to compete with webcams, not action cams. Okay. I don't know anything about it, so thanks for the insight. I think you are right, Keith. It is Thunderbolt 3. So What cable will work? What prompter do you have, please? Do you like it? And what made you choose it? Well, David, thanks for joining me. I don't know if I've said hi to you in the past, but so much. I'm so pleased you're here. And prompter version 1. I would probably get the prompter new version. It's bigger. I can see the screen, so I can look at you and see the chat. I don't control chat from the prompter, though I can read the chat, and I should be looking at it and reading. I have to scroll up and down. So basically, the prompter by Elgato hooks up to your computer through USB-C, and it becomes another monitor. So you can drag things over it. So when I'm in a Zoom call, I can drag the person over into the prompter and then talk to them face to face. So that's really cool. I can use it for chat when I'm live. And so I'm glancing at my monitor above it. I don't see me in it. I only see the chat. So like right now I'm looking at the chat. Let me scroll down to where I'm at here. Yeah, so I can look right at your, right at you at the same time and read what you said. You said, hey, exclamation point, what prompter do you have, please? Question mark, do you like it? And what made you choose it? Well, I chose the prompter by Elgato because I like the fact that I could then use it for teleprompting. It has voice activation built into it. So if you have microphones plugged in to your laptop, it can use those microphones. So if you're using a Rodecaster Pro 2, or using a wireless microphone, or you have some other waves interface, or as long as your computer can see that audio interface, then the prompter can use that audio, and it can actually follow your voice and use the teleprompter mode, or you can use it for another monitor. So instead of having your chat over here on a screen above your monitor, I can put chat right on my prompter. Now, I'm using chat display from my PC. My prompter's plugged into my laptop. If I had them combined and I was displaying chat through my laptop, then I could be looking at my prompter and then using this mouse to click on it and it will display. But I use my Elgato, I use my Wacom One tablet. This is going to be important because it's coming up here shortly. So let me open up this NDI app again and switch over to this. So that is my Wacom tablet. And when I click on it with this mouse right here, I can click on it and it goes off. Or I can just have it on and then hit clear. But then I can click on Cyber Gizmo's text and it pops up. I was looking at their manual. Not much on fill and key in just a brief description. Yeah, and I agree. We don't have very much DJware for learning how to use that product. So that's me controlling my chat right there. And if I click on this next one, it pops up. What's being published at 6, the YOLO Live Extreme video. Yeah, the YOLO Box Extreme video is being released at 6 o'clock tonight, which is a little less than an hour. And then Thunderbolt is also measured in bits. Well, that's good to know. And those of you that don't know, I have been notorious for saying that I am streaming at 6.5 or 6 1/3 megabytes. And I have been corrected on this channel, megabits. And if you watch my extreme video tonight, I actually correct myself. Because when I was recording the video, I said it wrong again. I said it right later, but I said it wrong. And you're going to see a little caption coming up correcting myself with an arrow pointing at it. So again, I even correct myself in my edits because I wasn't going to re-record that one little section. So I like the prompter. They have a new big version. I'm sure you've already Googled it, but maybe watching me. So Elgato prompter. We're going to go to their site here now anyway. But anyway, me and my laptop. So here's the XL $599, and here's the original Elgato prompter for $299. The XL, the screen comes off. It's 11 inches, I believe. It's a way better screen. It has better mounts for bigger cameras, but it's not small. So I haven't bought one yet because the spot I have is big enough for the original version of the prompter, because I'm in a corner and I don't have room to use that bigger prompter. But I have clients that own it, and everybody seems to like it. And again, you can enable the prompter section of it. It has companion software. I'll activate that here real quick. So here's the companion software. And right up here, you can see output is Elgato prompter. And then right here, I have display mode, text mode, or chat. This is only Twitch, I think. The chat plugin works. But if I want to turn it into a prompter, I just hit this text icon. And when I do that, I'm going to lose the chat on my prompter. It's just going to be a prompter with whatever text I have already in here. So I'm going to click on it. I'll open it up. And you can see it's information on the YoloCam S3. And so what you are seeing on the right is what I'm seeing inside the prompter. So I could be reading this right now. So if I hit play, you turn the microphone on here. So it's now scrolling on my prompter. So YoloCam S3, 4K, 30 frames per second, 1080p, 60 frames. It's got a large sensor, super image quality, ultra large 1/1.3 CMOS sensor. Feature possibly the largest sensor ever in a webcam. Not true anymore with the new Osbot Tail Tiny 3. But anyway, I could be reading that prompter. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause and go back to display. So switching between display, and you can't see the display right now because I don't have it enabled. So I'm only using it as a prompter, and there's no camera there. So, and then there's a camera mode on the top. There's effects. So cool software that comes with both size prompters. So I hope that answers your question. Good to have you, Tony. I've been hanging on to our H2R conversation until you got back. So good news, you're back. Is it going to be a premiere so that we can do a watch party? No, I'm going to be too tired. I've been fighting a really bad cold, and I'm going to go to one of those online consults tomorrow to get some medication. I'm notorious for getting a sinus infection that becomes bronchitis and then pneumonia, then it's months before I get well, so I'm not going to play around with it. I'm going to try to get some medication and get this thing kicked. It came on me very suddenly, and I'm not sleeping much at night, so we're not going to do a premiere, but I would really appreciate if you guys would watch it, like it, and subscribe it. I put chapter markers in it. So could you hook up the prompter up to an RCV output so that you view the live program feed as it goes out, if that makes sense? No, I think it's designed to work with a computer, so it becomes a secondary monitor. So I don't think so. So it's going from laptop to the prompter, not the other way around. So you're talking about it being plugged in as an input, and in reality, your computer sends things to it. So I can drag things over to the prompter. So the best way to illustrate that is, let's see, how do I do this? Let me turn off chat and unshare my screen. Can I do that? Yeah, let me just close it real quick. Oh, let me go to, let's see, that's PC 6. Try this again. Close. Okay. So now my PC is live. So pretend that's the prompter. Let me find something I can drag over here. I'll turn my SkyCam. So I can drag things over to my prompter just like this. So in reality, it's just like having a secondary monitor. So it's really cool. I can drag Zoom over to it and be talking directly at my client. So I'm just using this projection feature to do that. So let me switch back to my main camera and let me re-project here. Blackmagic Design, turn that off. Put the chat overlay back on. So right now I have the chat overlay on there so I could just pop up a message. So again, I hope that answers your questions, but you cannot plug in your prompter as an input. It's literally designed, so if you went and bought like a second monitor for your laptop, that's what you're doing with the prompter. Just has some really cool features built in through the software. So keep that in mind. Jay, it's good to have you back. Okay. So let's close that software. Let's go back in here real quick. And let's talk about this beast right here. So Elgato announced this new device. This is called the Stream Deck Plus XL. And it is a Stream Deck Plus on steroids. So you can see they normally have one with 4 knobs. This one's ginormous. So let's see if I can zoom out a bit. And this is kind of their video playing. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knobs instead of 4. And I have 2 rows of 4 icons. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And let's go back and see if we can count rows here. Also, it has a touch screen. Come on, show me the big picture here. The video is royal pain. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of 9 buttons. So I only have 8 buttons on my Stream Deck Plus. This has got, not only does it have more than 8, it's got 4 rows of 9. So I don't know, if you like lots of buttons, and with their new interfaces, I don't know, there is a lot of, let's see, audio. There's a lot of options right now with these guys. Here's their interfaces. So they have the Waves XL, right? The Wave XLR Pro right there. And again, that's got 2 XLR inputs in it. So it's a legit interface. So there's a lot of things happening with Elgato, and Elgato's kind of combined with, let's see, what's the name of that company? Where's my deck here? Oh, Corsair. So they've linked up with Corsair. I have my ginormous Corsair. What did I just do? Me and a logo. I have my giant Corsair lapped with a keyboard plugged into it. So this is a lap board. I don't think I've showed this before in a long time. It's got foam in the back. And I used to use this because my PC would project on the big TV behind me. That's a 65-inch Samsung TV. And my PC was plugged into it, so I could sit in one of my chairs in my man cave, and I have a mouse, Corsair mouse. And this is not Bluetooth, it's wireless and Bluetooth. So I could sit right there with this on my laptop and edit on my big PC when we first moved into this house. So I can still do it now. I don't have the PC plugged into my my big monitor back there or big TV back there, but I could. I have the ability right behind my PC to plug it in if I wanted to, but I'm using the max monitors right now on my PC. So I just don't really have another 4K port to send over there, and that's why I'm not using it. So Corsair and Elgato are teamed up, and that makes a big difference, you know, when these manufacturers start coming together. So they have some interesting devices like this Waves device, the Pro, Waves XLR Pro. And then they also have this new attachment that plugs into the back of the Stream Deck XL. So you just plug this in and it becomes an audio, a one mic input audio interface. You've got USB-C and you got headphone out. So pretty interesting what they're doing with interfaces. But this new device, the Stream Deck, I call it the Stream Deck on steroids. If we can find it again. This new device is very interesting. So they have done lots of new things with their Stream Decks, and there's a lot of competition now with Stream Deck. A lot of people are making devices similar to this, but they're way ahead of the curve, I believe. But again, you got a monitor behind those buttons. You have the touch LCD screen. The LCD screens have pages in them that you can click through by the buttons. You have the buttons that control volume and different things. Forward and back on a timeline for editing. There's just a lot of things that you can do with knobs and a lot of things that you can do with an LCD screen that you can't just do with buttons. Now you can make buttons where you can go up for volume up and down, button for volume down, but it's a lot nicer to reach over and grab a round knob and control it. So in my studio, I have the original version. And this is actually a plug-in that I purchased. So you can see it says shuttle. And if I push the button, it changes from shuttle to jog and from jog to scroll. And I could use this button to scroll forward and back on my Adobe Premiere timeline. So again, you can use those decks for editing and make things faster. Again, if you look at this, there's different buttons. Like I've got match frames. I can go full screen, loop, and again, there's different pages in here. Not working right now because I do not have the main plugin page plugged in there, but I do use it occasionally when I'm editing video. But let me know what you think about this new Stream Deck XL. It's going to be $349. And if you didn't know it, they came out with a new keyboard. Let's see if their keyboard's here anywhere. Pretty amazing keyboard. A lot of you know that they have green screens and different things like that available as well. Here is the Prompter XL. And pretty cool device. A lot larger. You can see from 15 feet away, or 4.6 meters. There's the Prompter software right there. That's what I was looking at. You have different step-up rings. You can mount the camera. It's got a bigger mount for larger lenses. So there's just a lot of advantages. That's $600. And then if you go back to the older version, like I have, you can get that Prompter as well. It's $299 and does not have as big a mount on the back. But Elgato did come out with a new keyboard that has a Stream Deck built into it, kind of a cross between them and Corsair. So I can't find that link right now. I will look one more time here. Here we go.
Nine years. It's been 9 years since Elgato.
Can't get that to work. Here's a video on X. So you have the knobs, you have the buttons, and there is the keyboard by Corsair. And it is not cheap, but for whatever it's worth. Okay. Check on chat here one more time. You are welcome. Thanks, but you didn't have to wait for me. Well, I did. So, okay. John Barker announced something Tony and I are excited about. Maybe the rest of you are, but a new version. He announced H2R graphics version 3. This is 3.1, I believe. And you can now draw on the screen. I'm going to demo this here in a minute. I'll show you guys how it works. But so here's John drawing on his face, and pretty exciting. So there's also NDI output available. I could not get it to work with the Rodecaster video, and I don't have the YOLO box available anymore. It's all boxed up and ready to ship tomorrow. So I'm not going to unbox it and test it. But again, there's limits to the NDI inputs in the Rodecaster video. I'm not sure what NDI version John Barker's using, but I was really excited that you can now draw on the screen. But it's new version 3.1, Telestrator and NDI output. NDI is still beta, is what he's saying. Tony and I text back and forth, and Tony got it working. This GUI that you can see here, he got it working on his iPad. I can get it going on my Wacom tablet so that I can draw on my face live in the video, but I'm going to demo firing it up inside my laptop, and then we'll go over and fire it up inside my PC. But so I've included a link to this, and then here is the versions. So you download it right here, the installer, H2R graphics. It's version 3.1.2 to be exact. And then I also put a link to this page that goes directly to his video. In reality, his video is right here on this page as well. I think if you scroll down, yeah, here is the video where John Barker is demoing. If you don't know anything about H2R graphics, I did a video, I think 2 weeks ago on H2R graphics. I got the pro version again. One of my clients is using H2R graphics, was asking me questions. I've played with it a few times, but I never really purchased the pro version. I bought the pro version. It's like $80 and updated today. So now not only do I have the ability to edit and create graphics and do a lot of new things with graphics, because that was updated in version 3 of H2R graphics. Now you have the Telestrator as well as NDI, and I'm hoping I'll somehow figure out how to get the NDI working. But so let's just close this for a minute. Let's boot up H2R graphics. So here's H2R graphics booted up. And we'll see if I have a teleprompter. Here's a Telestrator already in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit this. I'm going to open up the Telestrator. And so the cool thing about this Telestrator is that you can draw on it. So I'll just illustrate. There I am drawing on it. I can make this bigger. I can draw an arrow. I can draw lines. I can change the color. Let's do a blue box, blue rectangle. Let's do yellow. Let's add a circle. And let's highlight. Let's just go back. And so you have all this control, but I love the fact you can bring in a webcam. So as you can see right here, I have my Blackmagic Design webcam. So there I am. You're seeing what I'm seeing. And if I had this laptop keyed, right, I would be able to draw a circle around myself or highlight myself, and it would show up on the screen. I'm not keying this particular version of H2R graphics, but you can see how exciting this feature is. Not only can you draw on the screen, but you can actually, and you don't have the ability yet with a laptop to bring in your, again, how am I getting the image in there? It's because I have my ATEM Extreme ISO going into my laptop. And so when I click on this down arrow, it sees all of my webcams. So you can see there's my Insta360 Link 2 Pro. I can do an Elgato Virtual Cam, my EOS R web utility, USB 2.0, which is my laptop web camera, Blackmagic Design, which you guys are seeing right now because that is the same way I would go into a Zoom call. It's coming from my ATEM Extreme ISO or USB-C out into my laptop. Then I choose that input. So I can draw myself. I could do an arrow. Oh, let's go back. I could do an arrow like right here is the input. I can draw it. So now if I want to make it, being as I can see the screen, I want to make a box around this. That's great. So I love this feature. In fact, I'm trying to figure out now exactly how I'm going to use it, but it's very, 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 very exciting. So, and HDR graphics is kind of a weird opening page, but you can just drag this icon into OBS sources and it sets up H2R to go into OBS. I'll show you that on my laptop in a minute. So you could use the green screen version of this by opening it right here and dragging that into your live stream. So I could bring that in, but you guys are already seeing this screen, so that doesn't really help me. So we'll close that, open H2R graphics back all up. One of my favorite parts about a PC. So I love the fact that I can now use this. You guys are seeing the infinite thing here now. So we'll shut that. But again, really cool that I can now illustrate certain things and draw an arrow just by I'm just dragging an arrow. I can change the color if I want a red arrow. If I want a round circle around my head, round circle on my head. You saw in my opening image, I had an X over me. So really cool that you can do that. I can use the eraser and just erase certain things. Or I can just use the back arrow, can change the line. I can draw thin lines, thicker lines. And again, just go back through all of these. Okay, so really cool. And again, HDR graphics, you can see I have a graphic open right there. And so if I was to turn that off, it goes off the air. So I could use a chroma key and make these graphics come on the air. So you have all these different plugins, and I did talk about HDR graphics the other day. So let's actually open up HDR graphics and let's make it work where I'm drawing on my face. So Right now, I'm just going to go into my ACR graphics layer here. And let's minimize OBS. Open up H2R graphics here. And let's see if my key's on the air. Sticking up that arrow. Do it again. There's my glasses. What, you can't see my glasses? Well, how about, can you see my face? No? You can't see my face? Maybe I need to use a white box to make things clearer. There's my face. And yes, I have exactly 2 eyes right there. So you can see this is pretty powerful. Now I'm doing this on my Wacom tablet. So that's where I'm drawing. I do not have the ability to open up this little icon right there and bring in my my USB-C because it's not plugged into my PC. So I really do want to. Now I have 2 extremes. So I'm thinking about looping out of my main extreme. Let's get this off of my face because it looks pretty silly. So I want to do this. This will be funny. Where'd it go? Oh, a line. Let's try this. Okay, not a very good live stream tonight. So, Keith, we are giving you 3 strikes. So there's just a lot of cool things that you could do with this tool. So I'm really looking forward to being able to take my Wacom tablet. So let me pull it into the frame here, grab my Wacom pen, and then just draw on here. Get a circle out. And when I can actually project into it what you guys are seeing, then I could draw very accurately exactly where I want everything to go. I know I can pivot this arrow to get it where I want it to go. But maybe this is a reason for you to actually get a Wacom tablet. Again, this is just like the Elgato prompter. It's a USB-C port into my PC, and then I can draw on it. So it uses a pen. I can't use my finger. So you got to use your pen, but I think it's a pretty powerful device. And the fact that I can put that on just like I put graphics on the air, it'll be even better when I can actually have what you guys are seeing on the tablet. And then I could actually do that live. Now, my Wacom tablet sits pretty far away. So it's underneath my prompter. There's the prompter right there. So if I was to go back in the software and turn it to text mode, then there you go. There's the text prompt back to display. And like I said, if I open up Zoom, I can drag it over. So that would be my Zoom client right in my prompter, and I'm just dragging Zoom over. So pretty cool. It's also a way that I could get the program on the air and then draw on it if I wanted to. So if I could combine those two. So pretty powerful tool. And again, let me know what you think in the chat tonight. Let me close this GUI and get it off of my Wacom tablet. And I think we still have, let's bring OBS open here. I still have chat on the air. when are we implementing the H2R map? That is really a great question. Let's see, transition. There we go. When are we going to initiate the H2R map? Let's go back here. Where is my chat? Try this again. I'm going to play with it hopefully next week after I'm done with these videos. So I got to figure out how to get the API to work. It's way above my head, so I got to watch some videos. But I'd love to have the map so you guys could type in where you're from, and I could bring the map up in the last part of my countdown. Again, I don't want to copy Aaron Parecki's stream, but I do love the map. You guys can see where everybody else is coming from, because H2R Graphics does have the map involved in it. It's not exactly the same one that Aaron's using, but it's similar. And again, shout out to John Barker, who designed H2R Graphics. Use the links in the description below. Again, not sponsored by H2R Graphics, not sponsored by Stream Deck, definitely not sponsored by Holyland, but again, I do think these products are compelling. Illustrating on a live stream is great, but built-in feature. Yeah, I like it. My setup is different from yours. I'll be talking about it and showing on my Saturday stream. Yeah, so go over and check out Tony, put that up again. Quick Tech Solutions, if you haven't subscribed, he streams on Saturdays. Jay also streams. So TVJ, so check out their live streams. I think both of them are playing with Key and Phil, and Tony's got a different kind of setup. He actually has a bigger ATEM than I have. He has the 2ME constellation, I believe, in his studio. So he has a lot more inputs than I have, a lot more outputs than I have. So go over and check out Tony's stream. He's going to be demoing that H2R software this week as well on Saturday. I look forward to getting up and being a part of his stream. I think it's 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, or no, Western Pacific time, early afternoon in South Carolina or North Carolina. I can't remember what state Tony's from, but he can put that in the chat. K9 Striker, I will shamelessly copy and give credit to it. Aaron's map, okay. I had HDR map working a few years ago. Google changed some stuff and it stopped working. Yeah, again, there's certain things that you have to do and get a code to make it integrate with HDR graphics. Really, it's just Google Maps working with your live stream, and when people put in their location, it populates and then puts their icon on the map. It's really cool. Chris says, I can help with the API stuff if needed. Yeah, Chris, just to put you on the spot in front of everybody, I think I text you, I don't remember exactly how, maybe through one of my videos, but I'd love to have a face-to-face Zoom with you. And I don't think I have your email. Let me shut Zoom down. But again, no real strings attached. If you just go to, and I'll put this link in the description, my contact page is just lifejourneyproductions.com with an S in life. So lifejourneyproductions.com. Go to my contact page. It's totally private. Just put in here Grish and your email, and then we can email back and forth. I would love to have a face-to-face with you, especially because you are in Spokane area. I have a church there. I did an install. I have some friends up there. It'd be love to catch up and then maybe have coffee sometime when I'm in Spokane. I also have family that lives north of Post Falls, so I'm going to be coming through in April, I believe, to see my mom and my dad. So I'd love to touch base. I'd love to be in a Zoom conversation with you. No charge, just really inviting you to fill out the form. Then we can exchange emails and talk back and forth. Jay is going to be live tomorrow night. So subscribe to TVJ. Go over, subscribe to Quick Tech Solutions. Check these guys out. 12:15 Eastern time for Tony's stream, and he's going to be playing with his iPad. I tried to get it working. I'm just not Mac I'm not a Mac savant. So I have the big iPad. You're supposed to just be able to copy the address. And so it should have populated in my browser so that I could draw on my iPad. Again, this is Shannon's iPad. I borrow it on Tuesdays, but I have the Apple Pen. I have the nicer M4 iPad. This is a beast. I'm not using it for mix effects, but I could open mix effect on it. And so there's a mix effect firing up, and I can control tonight's live stream right here. So if I wanted to cut to my laptop, where's it at? Me and my laptop, I could use a macro right there. So it's a great, great tool. And it would be cool because I have a Wacom tablet. That's what I'm using. But Tony's going to demo how he can get the writing GUI on his iPad. So let me close this. If I wanted to get up and go to a different room, I would have control from this big iPad right there. Let me do this. Oh, I didn't put the pen back. That's why I have this lapel microphone on, because I've been moving around a lot during my live streams. Really important to get this pin on here right, because it has the ability to charge. Okay. This has got a little magnet that closes it. I like this pad. Really nice. Can still use the camera. It's amazing that these are so expensive and they don't have great cameras on them. Come on, come on, come on, Apple. Get me a 1.3 chip or 1/128. Come on, you can do it. I know you're capable of doing it. So Tony will be live at 12:15 on Saturday. I'm curious if H2R map will zoom to pin locations as they are added like Aaron's. I don't know if that's Aaron's, but man, if you have not tuned into this cat, Aaron Precky's legit. I mean, this guy is a savant, very intelligent. His live streams on Sunday are a must attend. If you want to learn, then go there. He did a whole demo for me. I got on early, asked a question. You'll see me almost always doing super chats. He has a membership group. I'm not a part of it. I don't have time for memberships, but I do try to attend as many of Aaron Precky's live streams. If I don't attend them live, I watch them later. But the cool thing is you can ask him questions live. He demos things in his studio. He has a Magewell device. He has a YOLO box, the small one. I think he has a YOLO box Pro. I think he also has a YOLO box Extreme. He has a Rodecaster Video S in his studio. So he has a lot of these devices that he can demo. And I just want to give Aaron Precky a shout out. And he did that video on Sunday. Here's his channel, so you can subscribe. But I think he had Tom Buck on his live stream 2 weeks ago. But there's his map right there, and it zooms into people. So pretty cool. So attend Aaron's live streams. You will be amazed. That's some of the things that you can learn from him. K9 Striker from Tony. Did not zoom when I did have it working. However, it's been a few years. Yeah, I think Aaron wrote his own. What did he say? He had this quote, a pile of some technical term. And I wanted to say something in the chat because I thought that was a cool quote. So whatever it was, not NDI, but it was like a 3-letter term that he used. And so he basically said his code was a pile of, and but Aaron Precky is a great person to go check it out. And K9 Striker is saying thank you to Tony. Well, believe it or not, it's good to have you. Wayne again, and thank you for that super chat. It'll get me over $100 for the last 2 months and get some more money into my bank account. I think I only get like $650 of that. No, like $3.50 of that $4, $3.75 of that $5, but I highly appreciate it. Google has to take their cut. So I'm not sure I said hi to you. Video was choppy. I just want to make sure I got a chance to say hi to everybody that's in the chat tonight. I didn't miss anybody. I know I said hi to TVJ. He's going to be doing key and fill at OBS tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to try to be there, Jay, instead of tonight. He used to be on right after me at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Okay, so all night I've had a poll up. I haven't talked about it. Do you own a Stream Deck Plus? And I asked you that. 19 of you said, or 19 voted. 53% of you said no, and 40% of you said yes. So we're going to end that poll. Hopefully all of you guys got to vote on that, but it's half and half approximately. Let's do another poll here real quick. Find out what happened to my chat. So let's go plus. Let's do a poll to ask. Oh, and I can never see the activate button going this direction. And there's the last question for tonight. Are you considering getting a Stream Deck Plus XL? So let me know tonight if that's something after I showed it to you that you are considering doing. So let's talk a little bit about Super Chat. So this is a Super Chat. And once you get enough views and enough subscribers on your channel, you can enable some different things and people can then use that to ask questions. So the etiquette is someone does a Super Chat and they ask a question, you're going to address that question. And the cool thing about H2R graphics, Aaron Preki used to do this, and I think it's really cool. Let me see if I can change things up here just a little bit. So let's go back over to H2R and transition here, and let me find the software. Let's see. You could do confetti like this. This is H2R graphics. So all I got to do now is switch scenes. I have a H2R scene and I have a chat scene. So I can just switch back and forth between the two. I think that's pretty cool that I can make the confetti. So when we talk about etiquette, I think it's really cool that people can support your channel. I don't have membership enabled yet. That's another way you can make money on YouTube. You can have Super Chat. There are other things that you can enable that people can get involved in. Obviously, membership would be a monthly fee, and then you do special videos for your members. Aaron Preki's right now building the Starship Enterprise with his members. I can't watch that, and I would, but he does that after his Sunday morning lives, and Aaron is on 9 o'clock Pacific time. He lives on the West Coast with me. He's in Portland. I'm on the other bottom part of the state of Washington. So we're on the opposite corners of our two states. He's in the top left corner and I'm on the bottom right corner of Washington. So kind of like that. Portland over here and Keith up here in Washington. So would like to meet Aaron face to face one of these days. So let's go back to chat. Enable it. So these icons now, if I use H2R graphics, I'll probably get the full icon up there. But right now, I don't get anything because it's green. So see if I can keep chat displaying here. There we go. So thank you for that super chat. And I'm sorry that I don't get your empty green box, but that is a really cool little animation there. I think that's what this is. This is like an animation plugin that I haven't had anybody use before. I don't think it's a super chat. I think it's just the opposite. You can also do like themes in YouTube, like raising money. I've done one of those. They're called goals, and you can enable the goals, and you can have people help support some goal that you're trying to do. But that's super chats. And again, it's a way to support YouTubers. Just wanted to chat about that. But it's important that you can display it on the screen. And now with H2R graphics, you could draw an arrow to it. And you can bring chat into H2R graphics. I haven't figured out exactly how to do that yet. I think you just copy the normal thing I put into OBS into HDR graphics. I just haven't gone that deep yet in HDR graphics. So Tony, if you want to talk about that on Saturday, or Jay, if you are using HDR graphics and you want to talk about that on Wednesday, that would be great, because I would love to learn everything I possibly can from you guys. Okay. He uses PHP. So a pile of PHP is what Aaron said on Sunday. When you code something, do yourself, and it's just put together. If's always a pile of. Okay. So if you just throw it together for yourself, Chris is helping us understand what he was saying. I own a Stream Deck and a Stream Deck XL, one of each. Yeah, I have a Stream Deck XL and a Stream Deck Plus. So you don't have a Plus yet, and it doesn't sound like you are planning on getting a new Stream Deck Plus XL. Let me know in the poll. Right now we have 100% no's out of 5 votes, so no one is going to spend that money. Going to be tuning in for the YOLO Box Extreme video in 10 minutes. Yeah, it's 5 now. TVJ, what time Eastern time tomorrow? So TVJ, what time are you, if you're still listening? Hank wants to know what time are you going to be live tomorrow? It's usually in the evening, my time. So I don't know. I would say probably 4 o'clock Eastern time, but I'm just guessing. Please let us know, Jay. I would get the new Stream Deck, but at this price, it's getting to be a point where I start having diminishing returns. Yeah, you got, I mean, again, 4 rows of 9 buttons. You do the math. We know 2 rows is 18. So, sure, I can speak to bringing chat in. Cool. That's going to be cool. So thank you, Tony. I will definitely try to be there. Jay said 8 p.m. Eastern time, Hank. I will likely be talking about building your own graphic system. Wow. Just, in the immortal words of Peanut, Jeff Dunham's famous alien puppet. You guys will have to be watching some Jeff Dunham ventriloquism to understand the reference. Okay. My YOLO Box Extreme video is going live. Hopefully there's no typos. Hopefully the arrows fly around right. I'm telling you, there's more edits. Let me bring it up on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. I'm going to steal this drive back because it's got my files on it. I'm going to undo the prompter. So let me plug in this drive. Hopefully this doesn't crash everything. My computer's pretty taxed out, So hopefully OBS will open and I won't crash, but we have a few minutes before this video goes live. Let me show you how big this video is, how many edits are on it. So maybe you can appreciate, if you guys are watching this and you wonder, if you do a YouTube channel, you do a lot of editing, do you ever want to edit like Keith? Please don't. And I just see that Joe popped in. Think I can pop, good to have you. Sorry you're late as well, but I'm glad you're here because we missed your input, which is always great. So let's see if this will boot up. Offline all, I deleted some old renders. So it's booting up. Zoe, my little dog, is barking in the background, if you guys can hear that. Let me change back to my nicer microphone here. We're back on the SM7B. You guys can decide if you like that microphone better or not. Okay. Takes a while for this to boot up. There's a lot of files and my computer's tired. It's been up and running all day long. But I was editing on this literally. I recorded this the end of January, so I've been editing throughout the month. So let me open up the timeline all the way. And let's go to the original folder. Here you go. This is the timeline. These are all the edits. Let's go full screen for full effect. I'm running low on system memory. My laptop is maxed out. I had a takeover from the Microsoft Cloud thingy, whatever it's called. I don't like you anymore. Let's close Zoom. But this is a close-up. There's my flying in logo. Here I am. Let's get to this first section of edits. You've got all this coming in and moving. My disclaimer that it was sent to me by YOLO Live. Then you got all this stuff coming in. And again, so I don't blow up the computer, lots and lots of edits. So let's save this. Let's close. And let's go over, and as many of you want to watch tonight's video release, that again is my video on the YOLO box. And I'm live, and we need to go in here and manage a couple things. You go into my playlists and reviews and overviews. Let me change the still image here. It's on 2 timelines, but let's plug this so people can find it, and I'll fix the rest of this later. So, well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream. In college, I spent 2 weeks editing a 10-minute video. I know, man. SM7B Joe says sounding better. Joe, sorry you missed this, but I do have like a 40-minute video that's going to be live right now. Should be live. Should be available, has chapter markers in it. It is me taking that YOLO box Extreme and diving into it deeply. So let me know in the comments if you guys enjoy that video. Please hit the like tonight. Please hit like on that video if you watch it. It'll be on YouTube forever, I guess. And so you guys can watch it anytime that you so desire. I don't do a lot of uploaded videos. The last 2 videos I did were on the YOLO Cam S3. I did 2 videos on that, and this is the newest video. Again, I put weeks into this video, and it is a, I don't know, a project of love. So hopefully it helps a lot of people decide if they want to get a YOLO box or not. And I even list the different YOLO boxes that they have. They have a plethora of them, the Extreme just being the Cadillac of all of them. So let's end the poll. 12% of you said you are going to get a Stream Deck Plus XL. You like all those knobs, LCD screen, and all those buttons. Again, I have 8. It has 4 rows of 9, and it has 2 more buttons than my Stream Deck Plus has. So 88% of you said no. So, okay. And 8 votes. We'll end that poll. Thank you guys so much for being with me live tonight. As always, I am honored to have this platform. Let's go over and watch this video. Let me find my live stream here. Where is it? There it is. And let's clear chat. And thank you so much. It has been a blast. And I hope you guys come and join me again in other live streams on Tuesday at 4 p.m. And that is Pacific Standard Time when the clocks change, because we spring forward and fall back. When we spring forward, I will be on daylight time at 4 o'clock. So I hope you'll join me for future live streams. And again, I hope you go over and check out my new video that just released. Until next week, I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios. Have a great week. I'm out.